family. Peace. Come on in. It's about that time again. Come on, folks. Gather up. Gather in. Let's do this. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Right, I'm going to wait for more of you to come in. It's like midday, so you should all be up. All right, you should all be up. Oh, Supreme Coaching's in the building first. Good. Come on in. Come on in. Okay. One by one, we're coming on in. Kiss Spence up in the building. Good. Oh, man. Joe Farmer's here. Big Zone's here. Prison Life. Okay, Ron B. Big Avelli's in the building. Dundill's in. Colin Gorak is in. J Boogie. Rupsick. Aaron Young. Indian Singh. Okay. King Gaming. Seen Jinx. Okay. Hello C. Come on in. The Savior's up in here. B&W Fitness. This turned out perfect for my lunch. That's good. M Cinco. Okay. Amsterdam's up in the building. Ian Brown, the Naturalist. Okay. 45 in. 10 likes. We can do better than that. We just got in. Like, because we're about to go. Just have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Have a conversation, family. Hopefully you have all seen my interview, let's say conversation. They're conversations. That's what I'm going to call them. Oh, I'm going to call them conversations with Lee Jasper. Hope you've all seen that. Mr. Man's up in the building. Karen. Oh. No, we don't want that. And D. Cole's in the building. Good, from Malaysia. Malaysia's up in the building. Wow. Okay. How many others? Solid vid. Thank you very much. I did try, you know. I did try. Lee Jasper to me is a man with a lot of knowledge. He's got a lot of knowledge up in that head. But I could kiss you right now. Don't do that, Mr. Man. We don't want that, bro. Bigger Belly says, well, big interview you done. Well, cuz, well done. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much. Any critiques, family? Any critiques on the interview? You know, not everybody, it's not for everyone's taste, but that's cool. Colin, sorry, I'll talk about unconscious racism. Unconscious bias. It's called implicit bias, Colin. They call it implicit bias. They do it in schools a lot. They say a lot of teachers suffer from implicit bias when it comes to black students. It's unconscious. So I've always said we are all racially biased. The interview starts. Oh, academic screeching's back. Great stuff. Yeah, they say it's like I've always contended that subconscious racial bias exists within all of us. Unconscious and conscious. A lot of people don't want to admit it. But yeah, it exists, you know, like it exists. So for us to deny that it exists would be silly to me, you know. You might as well just admit that it exists and then kind of have a conscious conversation with yourself, you know what I'm saying? And ask yourself certain questions like, did I make that move, or did I say that thing, or did I think that because of racial bias that I may have? I think it's easier for people of color to admit racial bias, you know. I think it's not as easy for white-skinned people to admit racial bias because of the stigma of being a racist and a supremacist. So it's easier for me to admit I've got racial bias. I do. Everyone does, you know. But I think it's a little bit harder for white folks. I admit to it, so I'm consciously racially biased. Good, seeing Jinx, that's fine. Prison Life's up in here. Danger Mouse, that's right, Danger Mouse. I'm old school, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school. Black Eyes TV, Dr. Francis Crest, there you go. There you go. Is racial bias getting scared when black people get... yeah. You know, that kind of stuff. When black people get on the elevator and you feel like, oh my God, yeah, that's your unconscious racial bias, you know, like you probably think something's going to happen. I saw a video the other day with a guy. I don't necessarily agree, but this Chinese lady saw him. Apparently it was a dark alley, and she saw him, and she was like, "Oh my God," and kind of ran. And he was like, "What?" I was just walking down the street. So what he done, because he got a bit pissed off about it, was chase her with his phone out, like, and saying, making noises out. And she's like, ah! She's screaming. He's like, "I'm not going to do anything to you. I just want to show you that you're a racist," or something along those lines. And then he kind of walked off, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have done that. But I understand the frustration. I mean, I'm a 6'2" black male. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've had people look at me in a certain way, and I'm just like, listen, I'm not here to cause anyone any harm. You know, I'm not here to like hold the joint up. I haven't got like a hidden gun in my jeans. I'm just here, but sometimes you feel it and you see it. So, you know, it is what it is. Racism is believing that one race is inferior and the other race, so she wasn't racist. I mean, the conversation about racism, see, I don't subscribe to the normal definition of racism. I don't. But that's just me. I hear what people are saying. I think it's a okay definition. However, I think racism goes much deeper than just describing something. I do. I've seen this happen. Amsterdam is multicultural and I love it. Cool. The Savior says, I've seen this happening with a black Muslim entering a mosque. He was told to make wudu. Whoa. Okay. Did you guys see Callum's live stream yesterday? Whoa. Callum went in. For the past couple of days, Callum's been going in on Titans TV. He's been, letting his feelings be known amongst the Muslim Ummah. So, you know, it was a good show. I would say it's a good show, you know. Brixton in the house, Jay Smith's up in here. Exposing the extremists, he did. Melanin Goddess is in the building, good. Yeah, Callum was on fire with exposing the potential jihadis that you guys are rubbing shoulders with like every Sunday at Speaker's Corner. So just, you know, have your wits about you. You know, this ain't just like, oh no, this is Islamophobia. It's not Islamophobia when we got you rolling with certain guys that have just like killed people on London Bridge, mate. That's not Islamophobia. That's a direct threat, really. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like me rubbing shoulders with, like, you saw me yesterday with, I don't know, you just killed somebody. I don't know, whoever. If you see me today and I was with the killer yesterday and we were friends, you're gonna be like, yo, who the hell is Sarah rolling with and what the hell does he know? So yeah, be careful, folks. Be careful. He did. Seen Jinx said Callum pointed out the facts. Exactly. Yeah, Osama bin Laden. Yeah, if I was rolling with Osama. Apparently Osama's still alive. Apparently it was all a hoax. Who knows nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? And that's the thing about, sorry, just on another thing. That's the thing about things these days is that you just never know what the truth is, you know? You literally never know what the truth is. You just don't know. And so when you... Hang on a minute. Let me just oh, who is it? Mo Jog says, Sarah, you rub shoulders with Tommy Robinson. He inspired Anders Breivik. How do you justify this association? I rubbed shoulders with. I had a conversation about free speech with a man. I mean, that don't make no sense. If I have a conversation about free speech with a man, how am I now rubbing shoulders? I mean, Tommy going on holiday with the wife and kids together. You know, I've noticed that the people's hate for Tommy Robinson, yeah, really clouds their judgment when it comes to actually, what's going on, Glenn McBurney? It really clouds their judgment when, you know, speaking about him. And people don't make, like, that comment right there is just stupid. To me, it's just dumb. Like, I'm rubbing shoulders with people like, oh, Tommy Robinson's your master and Tommy Robinson's your friend. Yo, I sat down and spoke to the man about free speech. That's it. You know? Now you're going to say, oh, you and Lee Jasper are friends. And no, I sat down and spoke with the man about some stuff about the black community. It's like, what the hell? Like, are you telling me that everyone that gets on a show and has a conversation or is interviewed by someone, so I don't know, say it's a Jonathan Ross show, and he interviews someone, that means now he's now friends with them and he's rubbing shoulders with them? It's like, are you dumb? Like, are you stupid? But because of your hate for the man, you know, you're actually not making any sense. So, you know, go ahead. Use your... Sarah, would you interview Imam Tawhidi? I don't know, it's already been done, you know? Oh my God, no. I've got no power. Hang on a minute. I need to juice up my phone. Anyone that rubs shoulders with Uncle Omar is a racist. You could say that, Melanin Goddess. Do you think Tommy Robertson gives a toss about the black community? Whether he does or not, that was not what we were speaking about. Like, what is like the hate that you guys are not thinking clearly? You're not even looking at things clearly. Because you got so much hate for the man, you're not even thinking clearly. Oh, do you think he cares about you? We're not there to talk about the black community. We're not there to do that, you know? So it's like, just shut up. Do you know what I mean? Like, shut up, get over it. It was a conversation, we've moved on, you know? Damn, like, some people are so stupid. Like, I don't know if all of you are that stupid. I wouldn't say all of you are that stupid, but some of the hate that some of the Muslims have, they're not even thinking about what they're actually saying. They're just saying stuff. Bonafide THC says, what's your opinion about the police telling Muslims not to pray in the park? Like I said before, I said you either all pray or no one prays. So I'm guessing they've gone with the whole no one prays philosophy. There's no one's doing it, and you know, that's just, it is what it is. So I guess that's what they're doing. Hi, sorry, Governor. It's good. Gordon Clark's up in the building. Shampa says. Oh, is that for me? 1 second, guys. For you? Yeah. Yeah, it's upstairs. Knock the door and then...
I went upstairs and said, Daddy, or later on.
Yeah?
No,
all right.
Not now,
no worries. Okay, then. It's the neighbours. It's the neighbours. Yeah, what was that? What was I going to answer to? Oh, I forget now. My mind's gone. Shampa, the real question is, are you bisexual? Why are you? No, I'm not bisexual. I already... This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. Right? Real life, mythology. Real life, mythology. If I played a character that was bisexual on TV as an actor over 10 years ago, how is that real life? This is what I'm trying to say. And I've noticed that people who are religious cannot differentiate, because if you think about it, you can't differentiate between myth and reality, because myth is actually your reality, because you're thinking about, you know, unicorns and you know, all that kind of stuff, and they exist within your psyche. Like mythology is your reality when it comes to religious people. So I understand why people can't understand that an acting role is an acting role and, you know, real life is real life. But, you know, go for it, you know, like, continue. You guys have got... Hang on 1 second.
Where's the parcel?
It's alright, we'll do it later.
He came.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna do it later. It's on the table though. Okay. Put it on the... If you want to get it, put it on the table and not number 10. It's on the table. Sorry, children, you know, family don't stop. What was I saying? Yeah, like we see our ancestors when we close our eyes, Sayyid Ahmed. You see? You know what I'm saying? But I'm actually admitting to that being a subjective belief though. This is a thing, this is what people don't get. We should actually go into that actually. Do religious people actually know what subjectivity is? Because I don't think they do. I don't think people know what subjective is and objective is. I don't think I do. I don't think you guys know. Like, there's no way I can prove I communicate with my ancestors. There's no way you can prove that God exists. Do you understand? It comes down to belief, okay? But I'm not trying to push belief as a fact. I'm not trying to push belief. I'm not telling you, if you don't believe in my ancestors, then hell is for you. Like, that's trying to push something as a fact, you know? I can never be in that position to tell anyone that if they don't believe what I believe, that they're gonna, you know, get chopped up to little pieces when they die, or some kind of nonsense. God, there's 115 people in the building, 38 likes. Come on, people, like up the thing. But religious people don't seem to get that their subjectivity, okay, cannot be pushed as a fact either. So they attempt to push their subjectivity as a fact. And it's like because they don't understand that what subjective is and what objective is. I can actually differentiate between the two. But religious people can't, you see, because their myth is their reality. So I think, yeah, I think that's where a lot of the problems lie when trying to understand people. Because I said, you've got a Christian, you've got a Jew, you've got a Muslim, and they all sit down in a room. And I said, all three of them will tell you that they know the truth. All three of them will tell you they know the truth. And I'll be like, all right, cool. You guys talk about the truth then if you all know it. And all three of you disagree? I'm kind of guessing you all kind of got some subjective ways of viewing things. I'm just guessing, you know? If all of you saw a murder and the police sit you down and say, all right, all talk about the murder, and you said, no, the guy was 6'5". He said, no, he wasn't, he was 5'2". Oh, no, he wasn't, he was Chinese. Oh, no, he wasn't, he was black. No, he wasn't, he was a white guy with blonde hair. You're going to be like, what the hell is going on? I thought all three of you saw the murder. Like, what the hell's going on? And all of you are convinced, right, that you've all got the truth. You all know the murderer. Come on, people, like, seriously. This is how you kind of find out that people's ways of viewing stuff is subjective. You know, it's just subjective. But all of you are claiming to have the truth. You don't. You don't. You just got a subjective view of something. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, people? Did what I say just make sense? Probably not to the religious mind. Do you know what I'm saying? Probably not to the religious mind. Goodness gracious me. And just to admit it, like to actually say, you know what? This is my subjective way of viewing things. This actually is, you know? I can't prove it, but this is the way I feel. I feel it's like this. That's what you call humility. And that's why other systems like, you know, Hinduism or Sikhism or African spiritual systems, Buddhism, they don't go around telling people that what they believe is a fact. They do not do that. They say, you know what? This is what we do. And this is how we do it. Okay? We don't go and tell other people, you must do it or else. And it's the truth. See, that becomes egotistical. That becomes arrogant. And that is where the downfall of, I would say, Abrahamic religions will happen. Their ego and their arrogance will be their downfall. The fact that they cannot admit that they just have a subjective belief, that will be their downfall. Because everyone else is going to be humble enough to say, you know what? You know, this is just my subjective opinion or my belief. But they are not. They are not, they're not going to do that. What we got here? Muslims have no sense of humor, says Joe Farmer. I would probably agree with you on that, bro. The London miner, Sarah, you believe in fake science. I don't know what fake science is. It's impossible to have several one true God, says Colin Garot. Exactly. Exactly. But everyone's got the true one, you see? I've got the true one. No, I've got the true one. I'm going to kill you for it. Well, I'm going to kill you for it. I'm going to fight you for it. I'm going to fight you for my true God. It's like, bro, I'm just going to step back and be like, you motherfuckers are crazy. That's all I'm going to step back and like, you motherfuckers are actually crazy. Okay? And you all think you're actually sane, but to me, you look crazy, you know? Question, would you have, said Jay Smith, would you have married a Muslim lady if you fell in love with one? No. Love is a choice. I don't do that whole, you know, oh, I can't decide who I fall in love with. I'm like, no, love is a choice. To me, I'm like, I can choose to go on the dates, choose to do everything with, choose to get feelings for somebody, but that's a choice to me. So I would actually choose not to go out with somebody who's a Muslim. That's a conscious choice of mine. Love is a choice, people. I don't do that. Oh, I love at first sight. I fell in love. Not for me. Not for me. I make conscious decisions. Agreed. My God is defined as good and all love good. Okay. Academic screeching, talking to ancestors seems crazy, Sarah. I know it does, though. I'm willing to admit it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, but look at it like this. Look at it like this. Buddha, right? Buddha was not, he was not formally educated. He was not a formally educated man, didn't go to university and all this kind of stuff. What would Buddha do? Buddha, hang on, this thing's really peeing me off, so. Sorry, we're talking about, someone said worshipping ancestors or speaking to ancestors sounds crazy. And I said, yes, I know it does. And I'm willing to admit it does. But like I said, Buddha went up into the mountains. He did nothing else. He was not formally educated, but he went and meditated. And whatever he got through that meditation, right, people are still following that shit today. And that was thousands of years ago, right? So whatever he contacted and whatever he was in contact with gave him that wisdom. Oh, there's no sound. No sound? Can you hear me? Someone said no sound. Sound is bad. Hang on. Oh, the gremlin's trying to get me again. Slightly muffled. Sound quality is low. Hang on a minute. Sound is good. Is it good? Can you hear you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You're in no sound. Can you hear me now? Do I have to shout? Sounds like you're far away. Good? Not good? Yes? Okay. People are saying it's okay. Yeah, better. Sorted. Hollow. Fixed. Good now. LOL. It's broken. Better. I don't know who's saying. He's right. He's correct. Just give me one. Just give me a 1 if the sound is okay. Give me a 1, folks. Give me a 1. Is it muffled? All right. I'm just gonna wait. Okay. We got a load of 1s. We got a load of 1s. 3. Someone said 3. All right. 2 if he's not that good. 2. 0.5. You guys are funny, you know. 10. Great. Thanks. 6. 2. Thank you very much, folks. Thanks for helping me out here. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for helping me out. You know what I'm saying? Okay. 1 to 2. 7 says Ashley Davey. All right. 200 says Ashley. All right. Fine. Well, I'm just gonna continue. So fuck all y'all. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah. So Buddha, right? So it's like bad to normal. I don't know. So what I'm saying is Buddha basically went and meditated and he came back with some wisdom, right? Now, whatever Buddha said to a lot of people might have sounded crazy to a lot of people, but whatever it is, people are following him thousands of years later. So I understand why me speaking to my ancestors would sound crazy, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I'm not saying you need to believe me though. Don't believe me, as a matter of fact. Call me crazy. I don't mind. What we got here now? Rich Franklin's in the building. That doesn't make it true. It makes it true to me. Academic screeching. You can actually understand this. You're not that stupid, you know. You're not that stupid, and I think you're an actual troll, because you come onto my show and you always talk some kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like what you're hearing, please exit stage left. You don't have to be here, my friend. You really don't have to be here. What we saying? What we saying? Who's got a next question? Next question, folks. Pendragon's Den says, massive respect, Sarah from Manchester. Massive respect back. Cali up in here. Sunny Sunny Big Koi. What's popping? Black Ice TV 7. Meditation is great, said Rush Smith. If Muslims meditated, the world would be a better place. You know what I'm saying? Some peaceful shit. You know, I ain't hurting no one. I'm not hurting no one, guys. You know, like, you don't have to believe me, but I'm not hurting anyone. Okay, there's no sleeper cell. There's no sleeper cell of what I'm doing, planning some shit. You know what I'm saying? No one's doing that. So you ain't got to worry about me. That's what I'm saying. You ain't got to worry about me. Black Eyes TV Services, what do you think of interrace dating? I answered this before. I myself, okay, do not date interracially. However, no one can stop people from doing that. But I said I'm a nation builder, so which is why I build with those of my nation. That's just me. So I'm not saying don't do it, and I'm not saying, you know, you're wrong for doing it. I'm saying me, I'm a nation builder, and so I build with those of my nation. That's just what I do. Would you be okay with your children marrying a white person? No, not if I'm a nation builder. No, I wouldn't. But it's time for some honesty, though, folks. You know what I'm saying? It's actually time for some honesty. Like, okay, I think Frances Cress Welsing asked in like the 90s or the 80s. She said she had a group of white people in the room, and she said, "White people, do you want your grandchildren to be black?" And most of them said, "No, actually, we don't want our grandchildren to be black because you're white, right?" So if you don't want your grandchildren to be black, what are you supposed to do to stop that from happening? Right? You're supposed to build with those of your nation. And so if you ask a Chinese person, do you want your Chinese grandchildren to be white? And they say, no, we want Chinese grandchildren. Why is that now racist? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why is that now a bad thing? Like, no one should actually want a grandchild that is not of them. I'm not saying if you get a grandchild that's not of you, you're not going to love it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, but your initial thing is to say, okay, no, I want grandchildren that look like me. I want grandchildren of my nation. Everyone says that. Everyone has that in their mind, generally. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why people have such a big problem with it, because people are on some politically correct bullshit, and I don't do it. You know, I don't do that correctly. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And everyone, do you know what I've noticed? A lot of people think the same, but they don't say it. If a white person said to me today, I want white grandchildren, I'd be like, well, why the hell not? Like, I don't hold that against you. You're supposed to. That's of your ilk. That's of your people. Like, of course. I'm not gonna be like, oh, because he said he wants white grandchildren, he's a racist. No. That's just normal for anybody to want. Like, what the hell is going on with people? They're so like triggered nowadays. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Who wouldn't want grandchildren that looks like them? Someone said, nah, mate, you're fully racist. If you say so, do you know what I mean? That I've been called a lot of stuff. You can call me racist if you want, but the bottom line is I have my way. Like, I don't really care about whether people or not agree with it. Like, I don't care. I want black grandchildren. And I'm sure the average other person out there who's Chinese or white or Asian wants Asian grandchildren, or wants Chinese grandchildren, or the white person wants white grandchildren. Like, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. People are triggered. People are triggered, you know. People, we don't have to be so politically correct. This is what I'm trying to say. We don't have to be so politically correct. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to say, oh no, kill all the Asians, kill all the whites, kill all the Chinese. No, they can have their Asian grandchildren. I can have my black grandchildren. You can have your white grandchildren. It doesn't mean we hate one another. Do you know what I'm saying? I think people have really confused like logic with like hate. It's very odd to me. Like that's not hate. Hate is actually plotting, planning, scheming to try and do something bad to somebody. But I'm trying to do that. I haven't got time for that. I haven't got time for that. It's like Jewish people say, oh, I want Jewish grandchildren. Is that racist now? Jewish people will say, marry a Jewish girl. Marry a Jewish girl. Why is that racist? Do you know what I'm saying? That why is that? What's the problem with that? I don't get it. I don't. There are Jewish people that have got a lineage from great-great-grandma to grandchild that's all Jewish. Am I supposed to go up to them and say, you know what, Jews, you guys are racist? Why? Because you wanted to continue your Jewish bloodline? No, that's just normal. Okay, so, well, it's true. I'm mixing religion with race. I'm talking about that, you know, the European Jew. You know, the European Jew. That's true. Next question. Bum bum bum. LOL. I mean, if you don't get it, KR, because you don't. If you don't get it, then that is what it is, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to speak to people who are not triggered emotionally and actually understand logic. Like, I want to speak to those people. I ain't got time for people who are like triggered him. Oh, he said he was black grandchildren. Yeah, so anyway, bum 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 bum. Do you know Thomas Sowell? Says Fred Callis 1776. I don't actually. I actually don't. Somebody's mentioned his name before. Bonafide said TH. Bonafide says, what's your thoughts on transsexuals? I actually did a video on transsexuals. You should go and watch it. As a matter of fact, it's in there. But just to touch on it, transsexuals, I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what a transsexual is. I know what a man is, and I know what a woman is. I don't know what a transsexual is. I'm just letting you know. Whatever a transsexual is, that is something that I don't know of. Because when I grew up as a child, I knew what a man was, and I knew what a woman was. And I know that no amount of cutting off my penis and wearing a wig is going to make me a woman. Because I feel that's a bit disrespectful to women, if I'm totally honest. I think that's a bit disrespectful. There are actual women going through like real women shit. You know what I'm saying? Like real women shit. Like, I don't know what it's like to be a woman, but I can't cut off my penis and wear a wig and say, and get some breast implants and be like, hey, women, I'm just like you. It's like, the women should look at me like, what the fuck? No, you ain't. No, you fucking ain't. We're real women. We know what women go through. You got periods, you got childbirth, you know, you got ovaries, you got all that stuff. But now I just cut my penis off, put a wig on, and now I'm a woman. And I expect to be treated like one. Nah, bro. Nah, ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And I said to in my video, I think women, right, should jump on these transsexuals and let them know. Women are letting transsexuals, whatever the hell that is, women are actually letting transsexuals ride their wave like they're a transsexual. It's like they're a woman. It's like, no, you are not. Okay? Women should say, I don't know what the fuck you are, but you ain't no woman. I'm just letting you know, you know, you ain't a woman. Because a woman, because I would ask them, I said, okay, you're a woman? Cool. When was the last time you had your period? That's all I want to know. Because you're a woman, right? So you must know the last time you had your period. Oh, you never had one? Okay then. But you're a woman though. Cool story, bro. That's all I'm saying. This is hate speech. If you say so. I'm not saying to kill transsexuals. Hate speech is calling for someone, right, to be killed or something bad happen to them. I'm not saying anything should happen to them. I'm just calling it how I see it. You have an XY chromosome as a man. I got XY chromosome. Science. That backs me up. I said this in my actual video. I got XY chromosome, folks. No amount of cutting off my penis or putting a wig on is going to stop that from happening. You know? Same thing. Woman, XX chromosome. I don't care what man thinks or what woman tries to be a man, your DNA, your genetics will never ever change. So your genetics are already telling on you. They're already letting you know exactly who you are. You know? So I don't get this. I don't know what the transsexual is, because it seems like it must be a neurological thing, a psychological thing. You know? So, because it's not a genetic thing. It's something that's in here. And so, like I said on my video, Rachel Dolezal, who's a white woman in America, tried to tell people that she was black. Now, her genetics don't tell her that, and her genetics don't tell us that, okay? But she's telling people that she's transracial. Like, what the fuck is a transracial? Because if I tomorrow said I want to be Chinese, the Chinese people are going to look at me and say, no. How'd you say no in Chinese? How'd you say no in Chinese? Someone show me how to say no in Chinese. Do you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, no. Because we know what Chinese people are, and we are Chinese, okay? So I don't expect the Chinese to accept me, right? Because I said I want to be Chinese, or I tried to convince people, or I tried to lighten my skin, and maybe have some kind of operation. Still doesn't make me Chinese, you know? So, no, I don't. And women should not allow these transsexuals, okay? They should not allow these transsexuals to jump on some, yeah, I'm a woman wave. Nah. Don't do that. Don't allow them. Women should be nipping that in the bud. Say, no, bitch. No. Okay? No. This is what it is to be a woman. Okay? Next question. Dude, you look a little Chinese. Problem with my eyes. I don't know. They don't have the word no in Chinese. Really? Said Nossen77. Really? Sophia says, Sarah Garvey, archaeologists and anthropologists must be transphobic for assuming gender. You know what I'm saying? All this gender binary, was it non-binary gender, or like, what the fuck is that? Has it got a penis or a vagina? What the hell does this baby have when it's born? Okay? If it's a hermaphrodite, fine. Because hermaphrodite is a real thing. To be a hermaphrodite is a real thing, I understand. But if it's got a penis, it's a male. It's got vagina, you know, it's female. I ain't got this non-binary shit in my psychology. I don't know what the fuck that is. Sorry. I don't know what that is. So, you know, you guys go along. You don't play the game. You know what I'm saying? You can play their game. I ain't playing that game. Sorry. I'm not playing that game, guys. I'm really not. Because you can't convince me that you're a woman or a man, just like Rachel Dolezal, the woman in America who's actually white, can't convince me that she's black. I ain't playing that game. Sorry. I'm black. Okay? So you, whatever it is that you're going through in your head, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? You're entitled to it. It's probably a little bit confusing for you. But when you speak to a real black person, you know, yeah, no. You know? No. It's like me saying, oh yeah, I'm actually Greek, you know? I'm Greek tomorrow, folks. This big 6'2" dark-skinned man is gonna tell you that he's Greek. I'm Greek, okay? And believe me, I'm Greek, okay? And if you don't believe me, you are transracial phobic. You know? You're transracial phobic. That's what you are. Okay? And then we're gonna make a law for transracial phobia. Okay? And so when you say that Sarah Garvey isn't Greek, or he isn't Chinese, or whatever he chooses to be, right? You're transracial phobic and you should go to jail. You're a trans-racist is what somebody says. It's ridiculous. Like, the world's going crazy. I'm telling you folks, the world's actually going crazy. Like, transracial phobia is going to be real someday. And then you're going to look back on this video and be like, fuck, Sarah Garvey was right. What the fuck is this? Too late. Too late. Next questions. Transracial phobia. Sorry, I said it first. Yeah, I should coin that term. And when it comes, you know, I should coin transracial phobia. Because we've already got like transphobia. We've already got that. You're transphobic. I'm telling you, transracial phobia is on its way, folks. Give it 10 years. Give it 10 years, transracial phobia. Next question. Next question, folks. Rainy says, "Are you English?" No, I would be British. I'd be classed as British. Biological characteristics are out the window in 2018, says James Scott. It seems so. It seems so. you know, it seems so, folks. XY or XX says Sail Bob. Sail, sorry. Shalewib. I always bastardize people's names. Transphobia is legit. Somebody says, okay. Who were your ancestors' ancestors? Oh, we're still on the ancestors thing, bro. Like, move on. Move on. God damn. Fred Talk says, sorry, God, what's your solution to the stabbings? My solution. I think the solution's a long, hard process. I think it's a long, hard thing. I actually think, right, if I'm honest, I think it's going to take a couple generations to really get something going. Because I do believe that a generation is lost right now. And I believe a lot of them are lost right now because a lot of them don't have father figures in their life. I'm not saying it's just father figures, but a lot of them don't have father because what I see is maybe I see a lot of marching, a lot of people talking, but I don't see a lot of the older fathers saying, you know what, this is my son. There are some, let's not get me wrong, there are some, but there's a lot of guys, a lot of young boys rolling around with no fathers out here, you know. Their fathers are just gone, you know, and it's like, well, who's raising this young man, you know? Who is raising this young man? And I always say, Big Bro said to me, I look at Big Bro's children and his children are doing quite well. And he actually said to me, he said, Sarah, they're going to judge me. He said, after I'm gone, they're going to judge me by my children. And so I'm like, whoa, for real? They're actually going to judge him by his children. Once he's gone, they're going to be like, all right, cool, he's gone. What's his children like, you know? And if you see a bunch of mad, crazy individuals for his children, gonna be like, look, that's what he raised. That's the kingdom that he brought into fruition, you know. And so the thing is that who's raising your kingdom, you know? Who's raising your nation? Who's raising your household? So yeah, I think a lot of the solution comes from the actual community. A lot of, where are the fathers? I want to know where these guys' fathers are. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally want to know, like, where are they? Like, they should all come out and be like, listen, these are our sons. Like, come here. Like, come here, grab them off the street. So what are you doing? Because I know I do that to my son. My son's 5 now. If my son ever thought of doing some crazy shit, the first person, yeah, that would be the one to take him off the streets would be me. That would be the first person. I don't give a fuck about the police. I don't give a damn about the government. I will be the first person to grab that boy up by his neck and say, what the hell are you doing? That would be me. That's me as a father. So, I don't know. I don't know. Big Zone says your child is a reflection of you. I totally agree. I totally agree. Next question. Bum, 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 bum. You got talking about tan. Liam said, sorry, my brothers used to slap me up and made me worse. I'm talking about your brothers, bro. I'm not, listen, slapping someone up is not the answer. I'm not saying that's the answer to start slapping children. I'm saying raising a child to know who they are, know what it is to be a man, know what their direction in life, you know, nurturing them, bringing them under your wing. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually nurturing a child is a full-time job. It's not no part-time thing. It's not a part-time thing. Trust me. Like, I'm a father of 2. Like, it's not no part-time job. It's a full-time thing. So, you know, you need to do that shit. You know, there's a lot of fathers out there, right, living their second childhood, as Nas said. Nas said, you're living your second childhood. Like, you're a grown man now with children. You can't live no childhood right now, bro. Like, your children need to live their childhood. Get out the club, right? Do some real man shit, yeah? And build your fucking family. Do you know what I'm saying? You got children you ain't a child no more. When you impregnated whoever that woman was, your childhood days, you know, they were dwindling. You know, you're still acting like a motherfucking child out here. Okay? You are not a child anymore. So raise your fucking children. Okay? You ain't the child. You want to be in the club every fucking, like, weekend acting like a fucking child. I did that shit in my teens and my 20s. Do you get what I'm saying? You're 40 years old still doing the same shit. Yo, chill on that shit. You know, really chill on that shit. Sophia says, Sarah Garvey, does sex get better with age? I don't know. Depends who you're having sex with, you know? Depends who you're having sex with. 8 Ashtrys in the building. How many baby mums you got? I got one, mate. I got one. Sarah said, the children are watching. Please mind your language. You again. I think you need to go. What's his name? Mojo goes. I think you need to take your mojo and go. You've been saying a lot of nonsense. I got 20-year-old and 3-year-old under 5-year-olds. It's different now. The first time round. Pendragon's Den. Listen, you're gonna have to get with the times. I think a lot of parents let their children excel them when it comes to like technology and stuff and all that kind of stuff. Listen, trust me, you better get with the times, because your children are getting introduced to certain things that you weren't introduced to, right, as a child. And so you need to know what your children are being introduced to. You better do that. I'm telling you, otherwise it may be for your detriment. I'm just saying. Mad Wide said, question, why do Somalis say they ain't got no Bantu blood, but when they take DNA tests, they say they have Southeastern Bantu DNA? Is this to do with Arab slavery? When it comes to the Somali question, right, for me, Somalians have a lot to deal with psychologically. I just believe that. I believe Somalians have a lot to deal with psychologically. Their country has been like flipped on its head to some degree, you know. And I mean, even just going off the Somali point, black Muslims in general have real issues, like mad issues. They do. That's just my personal opinion. Like I don't understand how you would be a follower of a system that clearly sees you as less than a human being, or lesser than the rest of the white-skinned Arabs. Your doctrine will tell you that the Prophet Muhammad was a white man and he also owned black people as slaves. For me, that's all I need to hear. I'm not following any white man who had black people as slaves. Sorry. You can stop, we can stop that. I don't care what divine power you said this man had. I don't care what, I just don't care. I'm not following you. Because to me, like, you have the founding fathers of America, right? And some of them tried to stop slavery, but they still had slaves in their house. And it's like, okay, you might have tried to stop slavery and all that kind of stuff, but you still had slaves. So I don't really have to follow you. I'm not following anyone like that. But black Muslims seem to care about this dude more so than anyone else. And I'm like, but this was a white guy who owned black people as slaves. Like, I don't know what more you need to hear as a human being. Like, I don't need to hear anymore. I'm like, all right, cool. I know exactly where I stand with that dude. And then I say, oh no, but it wasn't actually white. Yes, he was. That's what the hadith says. You know, it's already been like, I'm trying to say, it's already been, the information's already out there. I'm not saying anything. I'm not lying, right? And I'm not saying anything that isn't known by your Muslim scholars. So, you know, why would you follow such a man? You can tell me he's divine. You can tell me he got a revelation from God. You can tell me all that stuff. Yeah, I'm looking at the actions of the man. Because people can sell a good story. And to me, that's why I said people not to hero worship people. Hero worship is a really silly thing to do. Because at some point in time, if you've noticed, the people that get hero worship, like individuals that get hero worshipped, they start to believe their own hype, and they start saying, you know what, if I said to these people that it's okay to have sex with a 9-year-old, they'd actually believe me. They love me that much. Guys, I'm gonna have sex with a 9-year-old, okay? Oh yeah, go ahead, Sarah. Cool. Yeah, I mean, you can do no wrong, mate. Cool, let me do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what happens when you hero worship folks. They can sell you a story. Yeah, they can sell you a very interesting story, and you believe it because you believe this person can do no wrong. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think about that. Nikki Dudley says, do you have any Google Hangouts? I don't have any, but I think Callum may have some. Titans TV. Hit up Titans TV. Maybe they have one planned. Sarah, I'm thinking of leaving my job for a less paid one. As do nights. It's messing me up. Claire, I don't know what to tell you about leaving your job, love. I'm sorry, I don't know. You're going to have to make that decision for yourself, love. You know. JD says, good afternoon, family. Oh, man, Titans just arrived. Titans TV just arrived in the building. Would you respect a black man who had white slaves? No. No one wants to be a slave, man. Says Muslim 77. No one wants to be a slave. That's why when people say, or when Muslims say to me, oh yeah, but you know, slaves were given rights and bro, just chill. Like, you're a man, you're a woman. There's no rights that somebody can give you, okay, that's going to stop you from wanting your actual freedom. None whatsoever. None. I don't care if you give me a steak every day, okay? I don't care. I want my freedom. I actually want to be able to walk over there, yeah, without anybody telling me that I can't walk over there. I don't care about your steak. I don't care. If I want to go somewhere, let me go. There's nothing that trumps freedom. So no one can tell me that, oh, a slave was treated good. Like, I don't care how good you treat me, bro. I want to leave right now. Can I do that? No. Well, then you own me then. Do you know what I'm saying? You own me. And nobody wants to be owned. And as a human being, I understand that. And every human being understands that they do not want to be owned. No human being wants to be owned. So I don't care what laws and legislations you want to say, oh, but it was a good type of slavery, or it was a this type of... Shut up. No one wants to be owned, bro. So if you put yourself in that slave's position, you know you don't like that. You know you don't like that. Sophia says Rihanna or Cardi B. Rihanna, obviously. Obviously, Rihanna. Your thoughts on slavery in Libya, says Harry Hill. Libyan slavery is just a continuation of the Arab slavery that entered North Africa in 642 AD. That's all it is. The longest slave trade has been the Arab Muslim slave trade. It still goes on today. It still goes on today. So the Libyan slave trade is just a continuation of the Arab Muslim slave trade that started in 642 AD when Muslim Arabs invaded North Africa. And like I said before, the Muslim Arabs that invaded castrated the males. This weren't no, oh yeah, we're going to breed you. This was, no, you're not breeding, so we are going to castrate you. The American slavery or European slavery was different because they actually had breeding farms for the black people and would breed them like cattle, right? So they were allowed to breed, which when their numbers were allowed to grow. In the Arab Muslim slavery, no, they would castrate you, okay? And so that's why the numbers were not as high, okay, as the ones in the Americas. But trust me, it still goes on today. Because you have, look it up right now, go to the slave fort in Zanzibar. There's still a Muslim slave fort in Zanzibar that is still erected today. It's still there. People say, oh no, but you know, Arabs didn't do slavery. Really? So what's the Muslim slave fort in Zanzibar doing? You know, like, what's that there for? There was no slavery. Or if it was a different type of slavery, you know? That's what they tried to sell you. Oh, you're a different type of slavery. Nah, bro. There's only one type and you took my freedom. Okay, so that's that. Family, we've got like 5 minutes left. It's a sick world. It is a sick world. It was more ruthless. I'm telling you, it was more ruthless. The Arab Muslim slave trade is more ruthless than Europeans. Just trust me. Just don't even trust me. Just go look it up. These people did some unimaginable things to black people, and still do to this day. Unimaginable things. And the Muslims, and like I said, as a black Muslim, if you follow such a system, that, I mean, it's so barbaric. Like, no, both were bad, Carlos Davis, I'm not saying that. But remember, first of all, the Arab Muslim one was first. That was the first one. And it's the most barbaric, and still continue to this day, as you saw in Libya. Yeah? They're taking off people's balls. They're taking hot knives and taking your balls off, bro. Sometimes even making you eunuchs, taking the whole penis and the balls off. Oh, but it's a different type of slavery, you know. Slavery under Islam was a different type of slavery. Really? Tell that to the black guy that just got his dick taken off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stand this nonsense that people try to, like, spew. They always try to give things like some rose-tinted glasses type stuff. Like, I don't do it. Like, let's just be real. I'm sick of the political correctness, guys. I'm literally sick of it. Sickening, man. Just call it like you see it, man. Everyone is just like calling it like you see it, and then we can all just like work stuff out from there. You know what I'm saying? Call it like you see it, and let's all work stuff out from there. You know, if you're a racist, say you're a racist. You know, if you're an ethno-nationalist, say you're an ethno-nationalist. If you're a this, say you're a that. If you're a that, say you're a this. I ain't judging no one. Everyone's got a right to be who they are. I'm just saying the only time we have problems is when you try to encroach upon me, encroach upon my human rights. Then we got a problem. But you can be who you want to be, you know. Islam is perfect. We are not the biggest problem. Yeah, that's what they say. But there would be no Islam without people, though. You know. That's what's so funny. Oh, Islam is perfect, but human beings are not. Oh, really? So then, if human beings are not perfect and Islam is, how do you follow Islam? How does an imperfect human being follow something perfect? Is that possible? Because I'm imperfect. But you want me to follow something that's perfect. I can never ever do it. I can never ever do it. So you can never ever truly be a Muslim. You see what I'm saying? And so this is where they bamboozled you now, guys. They've bamboozled you. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh, but communism's perfect. Okay, cool. But human beings aren't. Okay, so can a human being follow communism? Yeah, you can be a communist, but I can't, because communism is perfect and I'm imperfect. So how am I going to do that? These people have sold you a big story, you know. They've sold you a huge story. Nothing's perfect. Okay? Nothing is perfect. And the perfection is subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder. There you go. So if you say something's perfect to you, that's cool, it's perfect to you. But when I see slavery, child molestation, rape, that's not perfect to me. You know what I'm saying? Sophia says, next interview. Oh, you're not getting out of me quite yet. You're not getting out of me quite yet, Sophia. But it's going to be a good one. Don't worry, it's going to be a good one. Truth is subjective, says Seeing Jinx. I agree. 100%. I like your shirt. Yeah, man. Danger Mouse, man. Danger Mouse. Jay-Z, hero or villain? Said Jay Smith. Jay-Z, I think he's a villain in his earlier years, and now he's turned into a little bit of a hero in his later years. Oh, Christian Prince interview. I don't think Christian Prince is even known. You know what I'm saying? He's like Banksy, innit? Like Banksy, you never know who Banksy is, but you always see Banksy's art around. I think Christian Prince is the same. Who's seen Christian Prince's face? I ain't. I don't know who the hell he is. What's your IQ? Says IS Hussein. I don't know. I've never had an IQ test. Someone said Jay-Z is Illuminati puppet. Bro, you got to first prove the Illuminati exists. You know what I'm saying? Right, we ain't got much time left, family. Prince is a fraud. You say so. What about Black and Dread documentary? I haven't seen the Black and Dread documentary actually. Alright fam. We've hit the hour mark. How tall am I? I'm 6'2". Yeah, I guess that's it. You know what I'm saying? Everyone enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. And as we like to say it with me, family. Peace, family. Peace.